Let's start the SmackDown review of this Friday night. And started out with Triple H going up to the ring. And you went with the two managers of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. And it was a pretty decent beginning. We didn't see Triple H, I think, for a long time in SmackDown. And it was interesting to see. But I knew and you knew that Cody Rhodes was not going to be there. The Rock was not going to be there. Nobody was there. The only thing that this Friday SmackDown was just for us not to get so confused with what happened with the pre-show of the WrestleMania. Let's be honest. It was I think it was pretty cool that Dwayne the Rock Johnson just turned heel now. It is pretty interesting. I think that what's make it more interesting. It is Dwayne the Rock Johnson being on the side of Roman Reigns. We all know that Roman Reigns was kind of like not the big dog over there. It was The Rock. And I think that's what they want to build with Roman Reigns versus The Rock. And Triple H just got to the ring and he himself told that I think we all got some news with what happened because The Rock shouted and said to Triple H for Triple H to get the things correctly done. And he kind of hinted that The Rock has much more power than maybe Triple H. And that's what Triple H did on the beginning of the show. It was pretty interesting because he said that it's not that some people think that they own the company, but the only person that make decisions here it's Triple H. That was good. We still don't know what's gonna happen. I don't think this is making any sense right now. If I want to build something, it has to be precise and it cannot be this confusion that it's going right now. Come on. It started out with Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. And then he kind of like changed ideas and put the place on The Rock. And then it was The Rock versus Roman Reigns. And then it still was The Rock versus Roman Reigns. But then Cody Rhodes changed ideas. And then The Rock wanted Triple H changed his ideas. So I'm gonna tell you something, guys. They don't know what they are doing right now. They don't know. And with CM Punk injury, I think Seth Rollins got really in obscurity right now. He doesn't have an opponent, at least as big as CM Punk. Come on, I was seeing everyone that was in the match of Elimination Chamber with the qualifiers, and I don't see anyone there that I can see that okay, he can beat Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins can let go the World Heavyweight Championship and kind of like say that he had a good run, a decent run at least in my eyes. And he doesn't have anyone there. Doesn't have anyone. I saw Drew McIntyre. I think he's pretty interesting right now. He's reaching with some really good promos, and I love that T-shirt idea. It was funny as hell. And I don't want to lose a lot of time with this, but I think this is the most important time. It's to have the two main events because it looks like Cody is gonna fight The Rock. I don't know. He's gonna fight The Rock to see who is gonna face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's what's gonna happen. So why The Rock is in the mix? The Rock kind of like hinted that if you mess with Roman Reigns with the bloodline, you mess with me. So what? They're gonna. I don't know, people. I like what they are doing with The Rock. It's interesting. I really enjoy it because it makes sense for The Rock to go to the bloodline. And that's what makes the most sense of this whole thing. But what you gonna do with Cody Rhodes? I don't think that you can have Cody Rhodes lose again against Roman. I think that's what they were trying to avoid. That's why they put it The Rock versus Roman Reigns in the first place. And I think they wanted to protect Cody because at the end of the day, Roman Reigns, they want him to reach the Hulk Hogan record. And I'm not seeing Cody Rhodes winning against Roman, but I think with this pressing of people just to shouting at the end of their lungs and just telling that they want Cody instead of The Rock. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see that. I don't think that's the best main event right now. That doesn't make sense for me. But I don't know what is your opinion on this one, because I think influencers of wrestling right now, the IWC, they just do a lot of things for the clicks. And right now, what is nice for the clicks is kind of like to say that Cody Rhodes needs his push. It's kind of like CM Punk all over again, but that's what CM Punk said on the other day. They didn't do that for him at 2013, because if they did, CM Punk, maybe everything would have changed and CM Punk would never leave WWE, at least for the reason that he left. But I don't know, if I had to kind of like book the main event, I would not do what they are doing now. Perfectly honest, I would not do this. But let's go with the Friday Night SmackDown. They got a pretty decent kickoff. It was a good one. Triple H, it's always nice to see him. He has a awesome energy. And after that, the managers told that they now have to decide which opponent is going to go against Seth Rollins. They are going to do qualifiers, and then they are going to put them in the Elimination Chamber to decide who is going to face Seth at WrestleMania. And I think that's was going to happen with CM Punk. CM Punk was going to go to the qualifiers and win the Elimination Chamber, but since the plans are completely different now, I'm not seeing who it is. But I saw that Dominic Mysterio is over there to add some boost to the mix. I don't think he's gonna win that. I'm hinting more to Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, I think they are pretty huge names to go to the main event of WrestleMania. And that's precisely what is happening, because the first match of the qualifiers was Drew versus AJ Styles. I think that it was a pretty good match. I don't remember when these guys faced off. I'm not remembering, I'm gonna be honest. And it was a pretty good match. It was a solid Friday night SmackDown, a good vibe, good qualifying match, and the end was with Drew McIntyre winning. But we all knew that when LA Knight started, because LA Knight went to the commentary table, we all knew that this was gonna happen and AJ Styles was gonna get dirty. And I think it's gonna be LA Knight versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I don't know how they're gonna do that. I think it's a pretty interesting match, or maybe they are just gonna do it at the Elimination Chamber. I think it's good to build LA Knight. I don't know if they are gonna do that. It would be pretty interesting. Next off, we still have the qualifiers of the Elimination Chamber, and I'm really enjoying the women now. Bianca Belair is in a pretty good mix. I think I never clicked with her. Going to be perfectly honest. Never clicked with her. I do recognize that she is a awesome athlete. When it comes to the reaction of the public, I don't know. It's not genuine, you know. It's not like a Sasha Banks. It's not like a Becky Lynch. Even though Becky Lynch is kind of like, it's not the Becky Lynch of Broken Nose, Nia Jax. It's not that Becky Lynch, but it still is Becky Lynch. You feel her. When it comes to Bianca Belair, they are just doing this to promote her show with Montez Ford on Hulu, I think so. And I think they are doing this to push her a little bit more. But pretty good match. It was Bianca Belair against Michi. I don't know what to say her name. Michi. What did I? Yeah, I think it's Michi. Bianca won. Pretty good match. She's gonna go to the qualifiers. We already have the Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch. I think these are the ones that we have on the Elimination Chamber pods. I think it's gonna be a pretty good match. One thing that I'm really enjoying now, and it's the Bayley segment. Last week was an awesome way to kind of like build excitement to the woman in the story, that it kind of like it's mixing emotions. Bayley is being the founder of her group, and she's being treated like shit. Let's be honest. And I'm really enjoying those three: Io Sky, Asuka. It was a segment with Bailey and Dakota, and we kind of like it was a hint that Dakota was gonna turn heel against, not turn heel, she was already heel, but turn against Bailey. That didn't happen. The three, the three went to the ring. They kind of like surrounded the ring, and Dakota went off the ring, and Bailey was all alone. But then Dakota grabbed a chair, entered the ring, and started to beat the chair against everyone. She almost hit it against Bailey, but then she stopped. I do believe that this is a way of kind of like building the story. Dakota, in my eyes, it's gonna turn. She's gonna turn against Bailey. We all know that's gonna happen. And I'm not seeing the muscle of talking, because the three girls, they don't know how to talk in English. If they don't have a manager, I think Dakota is gonna still be a huge manager. They are just kind of like hitting the things a little bit more, and I'm really enjoying. Bailey is turning to a babyface finally, and but now it's a different babyface. It's not like the babyface that we had years ago, the shiny, the colorful Bailey. It's a different one, and I'm really excited to see. I think they did a good decision by Bailey winning the Royal Rumble. I'm really enjoying. I'm really enjoying the Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch that I think we're gonna have at WrestleMania. I think it's gonna be a pretty good year for the ladies, and I'm really enjoying this. Then we had one match. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I didn't really was not interested in this match. I like Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. They do a good tag team, but they don't have nothing that makes them. Tyler Bate is the guy that is. It just doesn't smile. It's just a intense guy, and I like him when he's in the ring. But when he's outside, what makes him with Tyler Bate? I haven't seen him. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe it's me, but I don't see anything from that team. But they fought against DIY, and they won on a qualifier match. Are gonna face the Judgment Day at Elimination Chamber. I'm seeing the tag team. It's just dying. Judgment Day. It's not going well in my eyes, but I maybe we'll talk about them in Monday Night Raw next week if you want. But I don't want to talk about this. Just saying that it was a pretty decent match, and the winners was Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. It's good for them. I like to see them having opportunities. Pete Dunne has been treated like shit. You never call a guy butch. Let's just start by that. And let's end with Sami Zayn and Randy Orton. I want to talk about this segment, but just about one guy, and it is Sami Zayn. And when I say Sami Zayn, that it brings me a memory of one of my favorite wrestler of all time, Daniel Bryan. It makes me sad because they didn't pull the trigger on Sami Zayn on the right time. He was so hot. He was doing such a fantastic job on the bloodline, and it makes me sad that they just couldn't. Not that they didn't want to pull the trigger with him winning the WWE Universal Championship at Elimination Chamber at Toronto in his hometown. I know why they didn't pull the trigger, but I think that it was the right time to pull the trigger for Sami Zayn. I kind of understand that we are in the middle of something really special, that it's the bloodline and the streak of Roman Reigns. But it makes me sad because I see that Sami Zayn deserves the championship. He's not getting any younger. I think it was the last time that Sami Zayn was so close to the main event picture, and it was what happened. Randy Orton in RKO against Sami Zayn 1-3. Randy Orton on the qualifier won the qualifier to fight at Elimination Chamber. We already have two wrestlers, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, and it makes me sad that Sami Zayn is not there because, my God, if he fucking deserves it. And I'm not seeing people connecting with Sami Zayn. I always have an underdog feeling when it comes to Sami Zayn, and I see a lot of resemblance with Daniel Bryan because Sami Zayn is so good in the ring, he's so good in the mic, he's so passionate, and they just don't know what to do with him. Because right now we are in an era of wrestling that the underdogs are starting to vanish, and you can call Cody Rhodes an underdog, but in my eyes, he's not. Come on, he's a pretty guy. He is always in a way well dressed. He's a new John Cena with a different vibe, and I don't want Cody Rhodes to be taken out of that spot. It's gonna be his spot for a lot of years to come, but I don't see underdogs right now. The only underdog that I can see it's what Jey Uso, and I don't even know if he's gonna win the championship against Gunther. I don't know if it's the best decision, but it makes me sad when I saw Randy Orton just doing the RKO on a really good sequence because I really enjoyed these two matches qualifiers of the men's elimination chamber. But Randy Orton, the Apex Predator, won, and it's good for him. I think he deserves it. I think ultimately it's gonna be Drew or Randy. I still have to see the individually who is fighting because I only saw and then we kind of forget so many wrestlers now. And I think it's gonna be between both of them. We still have LA Knight, but I don't see how LA Knight and Seth they are gonna mix. I think LA Knight it's still a little bit too early. He lost a lot of steam, and I don't know. I think let's be. I think it's a topic for us to talk. I think with Roman Reigns, the tribal chief gimmick, and everything that is happening right now, I think a lot of wrestlers were hurt by this. It almost like a John Cena era, but with Roman Reigns. And I'm not telling that Roman Reigns didn't deserve it, or I'm not saying that Roman Reigns kind of like shouldn't be doing this reign, but in my eyes Roman Reigns just closing the streak of him being with 1K days of reign. I think he should never hit that because when it was WrestleMania, it should have been Cody Rhodes winning the championship, and then everything would have changed because you wouldn't be so scared that the championship would change hands because they are being so careful with that, but in a way that it's hurting wrestlers. It hurted Sami Zayn, it hurted Drew McIntyre. It's just those wrestlers that it was their time, and I don't think we can close our eyes to that. But anyways, it was pretty good. I hope you enjoyed the review. We still have more to come, and see you on Monday Night Raw. Have a nice day.